Broadcasting live from Israel.
IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
From the ACI studios in downtown Topio, Jerusalem, it's Louis Live! Now here's your host, me, Ari Louis. Well, we're back. We're live. It's good to be back. Jerry Seinfeld had a famous saying that said, don't take vacations because if you like them, you're screwed. But thank God, for me, I'm not screwed, Jerry. So you can take that advice and shove it, Mr. Seinfeld, because I have a great job here at Israel Sports Radio. I get to talk sports for a living, so it's kind of always a vacation. So that's pretty cool for me. Hope everyone's having a good night out there, a safe night. We have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to get something real quick, and then we'll move on from this topic. I generally do not talk about politics. We're very cognizant here at Israel Sports Radio to keep things light. There's enough problems out there. There's enough seriousness out there. Yeah, you guys are here to chill and have a good time, and we appreciate that here on Israel Sports Radio. But I would be a gigantic fool not to at least mention the Gilad Shalit coming back home, the trade for all those terrorists for him. Now, I'm going to just say this real quick. I'm not going to get into if that was a good deal or not a good deal or bad or good or blah, 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 blah. I'm not an expert at that. You know, I got my own opinions. If you want to get those opinions, you're more than welcome to find me on Facebook, talk to me off air. We can get into all of that. No problem. But on this station, on this show, I'm going to just break it down to this because this is something that is seen in sports a lot. There is no price on perseverance. Perseverance is the greatest thing in the world. You cannot put a price tag on it. You cannot underestimate its value. Gilad Shalit's father, Noam, 5 years ago said, I'm going to set up a tent outside your house until you get my son back, and I'm going to sleep there every night. And he did so, and got his son back. So that is something that I love to see. It's something that we see. I don't want to trivialize it and say it's like sports. I don't mean in that direction. Sports is supposed to be like life. Sports is supposed to be a metaphor of life, not the other way around. Sometimes people take it too far. That's not what it's supposed to be. But we see all the time, the more talented guy, the bigger guy, the stronger guy, the more skilled guy loses to the guy with more heart, will, courage, and perseverance. Guy really wants it more, gets it done. Even if he's less talented, less skilled, weaker, smaller, whatever you want to say. That's something we all love to see. There's a reason why Rocky won the Oscar. There's a reason why Rudy is a cult classic. There's a reason why people root for the underdog. Is people want to see something extra than just your typical skill, your size, strength. They want to see something a little different. And human motion, something we always could attach ourselves to. So that is my thoughts on the whole Gilad Shalit situation. Now, moving on to sports. Let's talk about the World Series. Of course, my Cardinals are up 2-1. Now, what sucks is I was not on the air for about a week and a half. I have the Cardinals winning in 7. We'll go through the mathematical formula in a moment. But let's assume that the World Series goes 7 games. Bud Selig, in his genius wisdom, has decided for whatever reason to put Game 1 on a Wednesday, which means Game 7 is a Thursday, which would mean if it goes 7 games, that 4 games are in the middle of the week. When I was growing up as a kid, and even fairly recently, the World Series started on Shabbat night, or mostly Shabbat. Game 2 was Sunday. If there were 7 games, then you had Saturday, Sunday again, and that means you had 4 games on the weekend, which you would think would make more sense. So, why was it that Bud Selig, this genius businessman, used car salesman, okay, I don't know if it was used car sales. I think he actually was a used car salesman. He owned a dealership. Anywho, successful business guy. He's been a commissioner for 15 plus years. You could say what you want about his tenureship. He's done some questionable things. I am not a fan of the interleague play. I do like the wild card. I'm not a fan of the players taking steroids when they did that, if it's when. Okay. So, whatever. Say what you want to say, but think about it. He's a smart guy at the end of the day. He's done pretty good with his life. He's a pretty successful dude. Why the hell would Bud Selig, in his mastermindness, put 4 games of the World Series in the middle of the week? And I'll tell you why right here. Because if there is a Game 7, which would be this Sunday night, the Sunday night NFL game is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington Redskins. And Bud Selig, with his genius wisdom, knows that game would be Game 7 of the World Series rating-wise. Even though the World Series right now is featuring the game's best player in Albert Pujols, a great baseball city in St. Louis, and 7 games. The World Series has not gone 7 games since 2002. The World Series used to go 7 games fairly often. From 1982 to 2002, it happened 8 times. It's once every 2.5 years. Contrast that to the NBA. NBA is about once every 5 years. So it was pretty common, and then it kind of stopped. You had a couple of sweeps, courtesy of the Red Sox, and the White Sox had a sweep in there as well. A couple of 6-game World Series involving the Yankees. 5-game World Series involving the Cardinals and the Tigers. But in any case, not a Game 7 World Series in a long time. The World Series has not gone 7 games in a long time, but I believe it will this year because it's due, mathematically, and it's 2-1, and the first 2 games were great pitching gems. We'll break down the World Series a little bit. Anyway, to give you an idea how sad of a state baseball is in, and baseball, it appears, still hasn't exactly recovered from the strike, even though the strike was 17 years ago. They had a blip of the steroids carrying them, the steroid era. But once the steroid era was gone, they still obviously have great ratings and great attendance and all that stuff. But what I'm trying to say is before the strike, baseball was king. Baseball was the number 1 sport, national pastime. It was known, all the top presidents and politicians and movie stars throughout. Baseball is a baseball game. It's kind of the way it was. They would be lucky at this point to be considered the 3rd best sport in America, 3rd favorite sport, 3rd most popular sport. It's just kind of the way it is. NFL is a huge juggernaut machine with the marketing, worldwide appeal. Just can't beat it. Basketball, even with all its problems, we'll have to get that to later on. Still better than baseball. And if there was a Game 7 of the World Series, it would lose in ratings to the Cowboys Redskins, even though one of the teams in the World Series is from Texas, the Texas Rangers. The average Cowboy fan would much rather watch the Dallas Cowboys take on the Washington Redskins on Sunday Night Football than the Rangers in Game 7 of the World Series. The Rangers are the black sheep of that sports city. The Rangers made it to the World Series last year. It was the first time in their franchise. They were the last team in Major League Baseball history to make it to the World Series. Outside Nolan Ryan, they don't have much of their history, except for last year. So that's the way it is. Bud Selig, he's doing this for a reason. He's doing this for some purpose, and that's what it is. And if it's not, I cannot figure it out. Why else would you have 4 games in the middle of the week? It does not make any sense. For those of you who want to know our guest tonight, by the way, I apologize for not saying right at the beginning. We're going to have Mark Gordon from Goal of the World Soccer Show at 11 o'clock. And then 11:30 IST Israel Standard Time, the very funny comedian extraordinaire Lori Brownstone from Laughs Comedy. I don't know if it's a basement. Laughs Comedy place in Tucson. Also, she's performed at someplace in Los Angeles, comedy-wise as well. No, not the Improv, but the Laugh Factory, which is pretty damn good. So she'll be on 11:30. We'll talk that creamy Canadian stuff people eat. I don't know what it is exactly. Anywho, that's at 11:30. So very much looking forward to that. And we'll be taking your calls up to 11 o'clock. So if you want to call, you definitely want to do that to 11 o'clock. Okay, now let's talk about the World Series. Let's do this because it's World Series week, and we're excited. We have some great guests on this week. Ari Bluestein, will talk into the World Series. We're going to talk with Jim Williams on Thursday in regards to the business side of the World Series, how bad the ratings are comparatively all time, and how they stack up overall, and all that good stuff, money stuff with good Jim Williams, still a Jewish country after all, eh? we may get Andy Dorf so I can rip him a little bit, and we may get Joe Robbins as well. Okay, so the World Series at this point, first of all, you have to understand something. I'm a huge Cardinals fan. Oh, we'll probably get Benji Levitt on tomorrow. So I can, we could talk about how I'm a Cardinals fan. So before we break down the World Series, courtesy of our friends at Yahoo, we'll play some highlights. And yesterday's game was a pretty good game for Albert Pujols. For Mr. Albie, who's looking for the big contract, no, he's still not worth $30 million. I still don't take back what I said 6 months ago. That contract for $30 million a year would pay him $30 million at the age of 40. He's not worth it for what he did last night. But what he did last night was pretty impressive. Granted, the Rangers don't have much of a starting pitching staff, and neither did the Cardinals, outside of one player. Wasn't bad what he did last night. Check out our highlights. Thank you to our friends at Yahoo.com for giving it to us. This is Game 3 of the World Series.
Albert Pujols leading the Cardinals' offensive attack Saturday night in Game 3 of the World Series against the Rangers. In the sixth, a three-run shot coming off Alexei Ogando. In the seventh, with a man on and two away, he hits his second home run of the night, this time against Mike Gonzalez. And in the ninth, Darren Oliver surrenders the third home run of the night off the bat of Albert Pujols. He joins Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson as the only three players in Major League history to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. Ruth did it twice in 1926 and again in 1928. Jackson doing it against the Dodgers in 1977. Cardinals take Game 3 16-7. Pujols 6 RBIs tying a single-game World Series record. Game 4 on Sunday, Edwin Jackson opposing Derek Holland.
We thank our friends at Yahoo. So the first 2 games were pitching duels. Chris Carpenter wins by a run, and the Rangers win Game 2 by a run. Now, both pitching staffs, starting-wise, is just horrendous is really an understatement. And I got to double-check this. I apologize because the win was Lynn, and I can understand he got the win, but it wasn't so much. I probably could have got the win in that game. I mean, the Cardinals scored 16 runs. How do you not get the win in that game? I'm just being honest with you. I'm just the pitching. So I'm an old school baseball fan. I like pitching duels, and it was pretty frustrating to say the least, but. The Cardinals starting pitching. Now, Lohi started yesterday. He only pitched 3 innings. He gave up 3 runs, and they pulled him. His World Series ERA is 9. He started and didn't get the win. Lynn did. And he was the pitcher of record, which it was one of those weird baseball. I got to devote more time to this at some point. But Salas came in after Lohi's. He should have been the pitcher of record, but he did not pitch well. Even though when he was pitching, the Cardinals had the lead. Okay, at that time they had the lead 5-3. He should have been the winner, but because he didn't pitch well, the scorer, if the pitcher who does not pitch well is not a starter, even if the team is leading, then it's up to the scorekeeper to give him the win or the next reliever. And they gave it to Lynn, because Lynn pitched 2.1 innings and only gave up 1 run. So he didn't pitch so well either, but he got it done. Anyway, Cardinals starting pitching. I'm sorry, it's just sorry. Okay, Edward Jackson, Lohis, Jamie Garcia. Combined in this playoffs, in the baseball playoffs, for a team that's 2 wins away from the World Series. I want to say their names again. Edward Jackson, Kyle Lohis, Jamie Garcia have combined for 1 win. 1. Now, mind you, to get the World Series, they needed 7 wins. And they have 2 wins in the World Series. That's 9. 1 win. Their ERAs are well above 5. It's an embarrassment. The only guy who's getting it together for the Cardinals is Chris Carpenter. Chris Carpenter has 3 wins, an ERA 3.5, and if it wasn't for that bad start against Philadelphia in Game 1, his ERA would be sparkling, probably 2.5. And he's 36 years old, and he's a former Cy Young winner, and he's getting it done. And God bless him for it, because he's the only starter on both squads that are getting done in the World Series. And we're not really used to seeing anything like that, how this is possible. But in any case, he's getting it done. which is why the Cardinals are going to win another World Series, 2 in 5 years. And Albert Pujols will get a second reign. And even if Chris Carpenter is money in Game 5, he's taking out C.J. Wilson, money. That's money. I don't care it's in Texas. I don't care it's in the big ballpark in Arlington. He's got that win. So that's 3. And then all the Cardinals have to do is split Game 6 or Game 7. Game 7 and Game 6, of course, in the new Busch Stadium. They will win at least one of those, and that's all she wrote. I'm predicting they'll win Game 5 and Game 7. If Chris Carpenter gets 2 wins, is he the MVP of the World Series? Generally, when a pitcher gets 2 wins, they are. But Albert Pujols had 3 home runs last night. When you do something that only Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson have done, you're probably going to get it. Even though to me, Chris Carpenter is by far more valuable. Chris Carpenter would have 2 wins. And Albert Pujols' World Series average is .417. I understand that, but even on his own team, he's tied for 4th. Craig batting .429 and Freese .444. So, just kind of say what you want there. Home runs, again, Albert Pujols has 3 in this World Series. And he'll probably, at the end of the day, get the World Series MVP anyway. And it's kind of a good tale. The good way to end on it. But, look, long way to go. Molina's got 4 RBIs. I mean, it's very possible Albert Pujols could have 3 home runs, and his offensive numbers are not the best on the team. It's very possible. Molina could have more RBI when the World Series is done. People have better batting averages. So it would be weird to have a guy hit 3 home runs in the World Series, in a World Series game, and not get the MVP. But it could happen. I doubt it, though. I think he'll get it. I think they'll figure out a way to get it to him and get it done. Okay, so that's Albert Pujols. And again, Game 4, big pivotal game. Again, I expect the Rangers to win. I'm predicting the Rangers to win. Cardinals don't need it, so that's fine. Cardinals will win Game 5, which is Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, Monday night. And again, Game 6 Wednesday, Game 7 Thursday night. And that'll be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. Again, to put it in perspective, on an Albie's 3 home run, 6 RBI night, only him, Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth hit 3 home runs in a game. And he just said, just pretty special. Pujols, of course, has won 3 MVPs. He also had 2 singles on top of that, so he had a pretty good game. Yeah. It was great stuff. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little college football, and we'll talk some NFL football before our guest tonight. You're listening to Louis Live on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Connie is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Connie can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Connie has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email connie@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.conniesgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Schutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Back here on Louis Live, and it's time for some Notre Dame. Yeah, baby. Cheer, cheer, cheer for Notre Dame. Guess what? They lose another freaking game. This time they lost to USC, and the score was 31-17. Now their record is 4-3, and they suck, so cheer with glee. No BCS game for Notre Dame. This sucks. I cannot believe this. How could they just suck like this? And we know they should play better, and I blame Brian O'Kelly. Just telling the truth, Belly. Hey, Notre Dame, you should not have lost to Southern Florida. You suck. Now there's no real money, and I'm just saying the way it is. Yeah, I'm just kind of telling you the way it is, and I'm sorry, I kind of, I'm not so happy about this loss to USC. And I'm sorry that my rhyming scheme went down a little bit. I don't know why that happened, but I was just kind of so excited to express my displeasure with Brian O'Kelly's Notre Dame firing Irish. They get rid of Chris after the first game. They bring in Rees, and they're supposed to have some pretty talented offensive players. And USC is under suspension, and they don't really have a lot to play for. They're not going to a BCS game. They don't, or a tournament or anything. And they win 31-17. So that's not good at all. Now, for those of you who do not know, you cannot go to a BCS game with more than 2 losses. So BCS games all done. To put in perspective what that means to Notre Dame, someone who goes to a BCS game, let's say Arizona State, and they go to the Orange Bowl, $12 million is paid to Arizona State, which is then divided among the Pac-10 teams. So ironically, there's certain cases where a Pac-10 team has an advantage to lose, believe it or not. It's amazing with all of the NCAA violations and regulations and all their little investigations, all that good stuff. They never try to figure that one out, that if 2 teams play each other, it's an incentive for one team to lose because they get more money if a team from their conference goes to a big bowl game. Anyway, Notre Dame doesn't actually have to deal with any of that stuff or have any of those issues because they're an independent. They're not part of any conference. So if Notre Dame goes to the Fiesta Bowl, for example, like they've done several times, even though they weren't deserving, and $12 million is paid to the University of Notre Dame, they keep all of that money, all of it. It's a lot of money to play for, especially when the players don't get paid anything. Anyway, they don't have to worry about that now in any case, independent or not independent, because Michael Floyd and company are not going to a BCS Bowl. And had they not blown the game against Michigan, had they not blown the game against Florida, Southern Florida, not Florida State or Miami, Southern Florida, had they not blown the game against Southern freaking Florida, they would be 6-1, and they'd still be ranked in the top 10, and they'd be still going to a BCS game. Their schedule's pretty light. I was worried about this game. You always have to be worried about USC, even though they are not playing for anything. They're playing under suspension. You have to worry about the Trojans. What's next? Navy. That's a win. At Wake Forest. Win. Maryland. Win. Boston College is a trap game. Always dangerous. And Stanford's ranked. So that you figure they split one of those two. That would be their second loss. And then we go to a bowl game and get $12 million, and they could not invest. Excuse me. That word came out wrong. That's not what I meant. They could buy the proper facilities and buy the proper uniforms for these players that get paid nothing. Wink, wink. But in any case, I don't know. Las Vegas Bowl, Hawaii Bowl, Constipation Bowl, because nobody gives a crap even if they could. The Marijuana Bowl, because they get smoked in it. They're going to lose the bowl game anyway. Just for fun, for blanks and giggles, I will talk about the Notre Dame game every time they play here on the show, because I am the biggest Jewish Notre Dame football fan in Israel. But there's really no point at this point. They have 5 games. I couldn't care less. I'll try to watch the Navy game. It's a very big rivalry game. That'll be on here at 9:30 p.m., so it's not such a big deal for me. It's not so annoying. I could do that. Anyways, to break down this game, just real quick. So that game, I'll do it. I'll do this 5 more times, or I'll play the music and make fun of them. Man. Okay, let's real quick. I don't want to do this too much. I just want to go for the highlights of the game. We're going to play the music, and we'll go to commercial, and then we'll go on to some real football here. All right, USC safety Jawanza Starling picked up the ball and had open field. Game-changing play Saturday night. He ran 80 yards. And that sealed the victory there. Quote, I would say it's our team's biggest win since we've been here because of all the stuff around it. Second year, USC coach Lane Kiffin said the electric atmosphere surrounding Notre Dame's first home night game in 21 years. Also, that's a pretty big deal, too. With the Trojans nursing a 17-10 lead, Notre Dame had the ball at the USC 1. Was on the verge of tying the game when backup Dane Christ lost that on the snap. I was just like, I got to get it. I had to get it, Starling said. So, of course, Starling then runs the ball back. That turns it 24-10, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Quote, I didn't dribble it. I just had to wait for the perfect bounce because I didn't want to try and go for it too soon and miss it. So I was just taking my time with it, scoop and score, everything we do in practice, and I took it to the house. So that's the way it is. USC, which now has won 9 in the last 10 meetings in the long rivalry, had a 443-267 advantage in total yards. Notre Dame, 3 second-half turnovers. Losing stinks. For me, it's hard for me to put a stink meter on losing. They all stink, Brian O'Kelly said. All right, I'm all done. Let's play the song, take commercial, and come back. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones, all hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
That's right, baby. Back here on Louis Live and talking some NFL football, the football that matters, that Notre Dame garbage. We'll have a D-Voice Brian to wrap up the NFL weekend. This segment, we're just going to talk some scores and standings, and then we'll go to that funny story of how Jason Campbell found out about the big Carson Palmer trade. Poor Jason, baby. That's why you don't get sick. Don't you remember the guy that Lou Gehrig took over? No, you don't remember his name, because nobody does. I think his name was Wally Pipp. But anyway, some guy for the Yankees got sick and went out, and Gehrig took over and, I don't know, played 2,130 games in a row, and I don't think Wally Pipp got his job back. Anyway, the Atlanta Falcons beat the Detroit Lions 23-16. Johnson, of course, Mr. Johnson, Calvin Johnson, who is Deep Voice Brian's pick for the MVP at this point, 5 receptions, 115 yards, and a touchdown. He did his part, but it was not enough as the Lions lose. We're not used to saying that here, are we? It's kind of a weird statement to say the Lions lose. Lions started out this season great. Obviously, the undefeated start. No. Not the same. They were 4-0, and now they're 5-2. And right now, the only team undefeated in the National Football League are your defending Super Bowl champions, the Green Bay Packers. 6-0. Benji Levin made a funny joke to me on Friday, accusing me of being a fair-weather bandwagon fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, and said, by the way, I want to let you know I'm a fan of the Patriots and the Packers. Patriots, by the way, 5-1. Okay, more scores. The Houston Texans win 41-17. Adrian Foster, 25 rushing attempts for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. So those of you that had Adrian in your fantasy pick, good job on that. I'm getting killed in fantasy. Callie Dave is really trash-talking me. It's the way it goes. All right, boy. Anyways, Houston looks like to be a good pick. They're 4-3, but head of that South Division because the Colts are 0-6. So kudos to me in picking the Texans. Not everybody had them. I don't care what you say. Denver, 18-15. Tebow gets it done. 13 completions for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. I know, it's not such good numbers, but it got it done. They beat the Miami Dolphins. And Denver, 2-4. Not really going anywhere. And neither is Miami at 0-6. So that game is kind of worthless. And we don't like the music to stop here. So we're just going to keep on it. Yes. Yes, indeedy. Okie dokie. Cleveland Richard. He's happy with his Browns. His team went 6-3, baby. Yeah, 6-3 over Big Ben Block's Seattle Seahawks. I'm not even doing the box score for that game. Or talk about anything. I'm not mentioning the stat. The Chicago Bears win 24-18 over Tampa Bay. That pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for those of you who had Tampa Bay in the playoffs, still strong, 4-3, second in the South. We'll see what happens. Chicago 4-3 also, but they're in the same division as the Lions and the Packers, and they have still a shot to make the playoffs. Obviously, the wild card. It could be between them and Tampa Bay and the Falcons, and that was a big tie-breaking win. So you could have 3 teams out of the North in the NFC. And I did not think the Bears would go anywhere. So kudos to them, and sucks for me. Eating crow. The Jets, the JTS Jets beat Cali Dave's Chargers 27-21. They scored 10 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. So Phillip Rivers, who tries to beat his former teammate, LT, it goes and lost. It's in vain, baby, as the Jets win 27-21. The New York JTS Jets 4-3. Hanging around. Now, 4-3. Let's put it this way. I doubt 3 teams are getting out of the AFC East. They're going to have to take the Buffalo Bills. But I had the Jets going to the Super Bowl, and I think at the end of the day, they're going to get to the playoffs one way or another. Carolina, Cam Newton, 18-23, 256 yards and a touchdown in the victory, 33-20 over the Washington Redskins. As the music goes down, the Redskins, though, second place in the East, 3-3. The Giants, I am shocked. They are 4-2. The Eagles are the biggest disappointment in the National Football League at 2-4. The Redskins, though, at 3-3. That's, I know it's a game. It's, you're going to have to get over 500 to get a wild card spot. Hell, with the 49ers taking that commanding lead of the West at 5-1, I think all teams in the playoffs are going to have a record over 500. How about that? Continuing more scores, the Steelers are beating my Cardinals 7-0, 26 seconds left of the first quarter. Arizona has the ball. This is believe it or not, a rematch of a Super Bowl. Super Bowl 43, and there's a lot of bad blood between Big Ben Roethlisberger and Coach Wisden of the Arizona Cardinals. Coach Wisden used to be the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, and he and Big Ben did not get along. And they do not really shake hands and all that good stuff. So that's always intriguing. Pittsburgh 4-2, still battling for a playoff spot. The Cardinals not. Dallas is beating the really tough St. Louis Rams 7-0, 4-11 in the first. And Dallas obviously needs that victory just to pull to 500. I doubt Dallas is going to the playoffs. That doesn't really say that much. Oakland losing 13-0. Matt Castle just passed a touchdown to Mr. Bo for 16 yards, 2:19 left in the first. Kansas City up 13-0. And the Chiefs 2-3, trying to get to 500. I don't think they're really going anywhere. The Raiders are 4-2, slipped to 4-3. It'll be a bit of a problem, but they're obviously still alive in the playoff hunt. If they somehow can pull out this game, and the Chargers lost, so it's a good opportunity to pull ahead and get that division lead. There's a lot of time left in the season, though. No one needs to get nuts or worry. And again, the Chargers just want to say lose to the Jets. They had the lead, but in the fourth, couldn't get it done. And that's all she wrote there, as they are 4-2. Okay, and a couple more scores. Minnesota tied with the Packers, 7-7. Remember, Packers are undefeated at this point, 6-0. And Minnesota, not exactly undefeated. That would be kind of an understatement. Minnesota with Donovan McNabb are 1-5. But they're trying to pull out the big upset any given Sunday, as they say. 5:51 in the first quarter. Minnesota and Green Bay tied at 7. Minnesota has the ball. See what happens. It's a shame with Adrian Peterson to be 1-5 in that division. And the big Sunday night game, which everybody really cares about, New Orleans versus Indianapolis, a rematch of Super Bowl 44. It would just give New Orleans the win and just move on. The Monday night game, Baltimore. Deep Voices, Baltimore Ravens versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baltimore looking great 4-1, and my pick for them to win that division is looking very, very solid. All right, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll discuss how Jason Campbell found out that he's on his way out. Right after this, on IsraelSportsRadio.com, baby!
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours will help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in FIT. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Connie is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Connie can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Connie has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email connie@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.conniesgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Back here on Lewis Live now, we're going to talk about two NFL stories before we go to Mark Gordon to talk some other type of football. And Jason Campbell, of course, playing very well with the Raiders. Like I mentioned, the Raiders 4-3, and well, after today they'll be 4-3. But no, they very well could win this game and be 5-2. Anyways, Jason Campbell, the leader of the ship, doing well. And here, apparently, according to Jason Campbell, did not find out the trade through your typical organization phone call or coach phone call. Because no one from the Raiders bothered to tell him about it, Jason Campbell found out about the trade for former Bengals quarterback and former Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer watching TV. Of course, the Raiders starter broke his collarbone in the Oakland Week 6 victory. Found out the trade on Tuesday while he's recovering from surgery. Did not talk about this with Hugh Jackson, the Raiders coach. Campbell told 95.7 FM in Oakland to find out about his replacement. I was halfway still on pain medicine. It was kind of a moment of silence. My fiancé looked at me to see if I was going to say something. There's different things that go through your mind, but you don't want to fill your mind with those thoughts. I started receiving these text messages and everything about, hey, what's going on, and there's been a trade and everything, and they've just given up a first round. As a player in this league, you can't worry about the things that go on from a business side of it, the political side of it. You know what you're worth. You know what you've done to help the franchise you've got here. Put us in the position we're in now. Campbell handled the situation with the optimistic wariness he had to show countless times during his football career. It's not so much lack of instant communication about Palmer's that's bothersome. Hey, boy. But Jackson, why did they wait till Friday? Anyway, it was a major insult to not talk to him about it, but But look, it's weird to say. You would think it's an upgrade to go to Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer's not played in a long time. And the way Carson Palmer dissed his team and disrespected his team, saying he did not want to join the Bengals because they kept losing, irritated his teammates in Cincinnati. And I know what's going to happen. There's chemistry issues all the time with a new quarterback playing for a team. They had a good groove with Jason Campbell, and why not stick with it? Seems pretty obvious to me. And Jason Campbell's got them there, do what works. But who knows? Who knows? Again, he broke his collarbone. They don't know how long he'll be out. And they got Carson Palmer. And Carson Palmer, if he does well, will lead them the rest of the way into the playoffs. And that's that. Second story we're going to talk about here. And Peyton Manning upset with his former coach, Tony Dungy. And remember that him and Tony were very, very close. They obviously worked together for a long, long time. And again, Peyton Manning, the Colts, are obviously losing tomorrow. They'll be 0-7. But, of course, everyone keeps saying Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck. And if the Colts are 0-16, they could get Andrew Luck. And do you do that with a quarterback like Peyton Manning, who's 35 years old, coming off neck surgery? According to former Colts head coach Tony Dungy and former, of course, Peyton Manning coach Ted Dungy, this is what he said, quote, "I would see Peyton competing and playing as long as he wanted. And if he gets to the point to where, hey, he comes back and looks like he's going to play 3 or 4 more years, and you say, we've got Andrew Luck, we got an asset, we trade Peyton, I think that asset is too much to pass up, even if your quarterback wasn't all that happy about it." Wow. He said that on the Dan Patrick Show. Dungy, of course, coached Manning for 7 years, and Manning is the reason why Dungy has a Super Bowl ring. And I don't know why this happened or why, but the loyalty. Tony Dungy is supposed to be known as this religious guy. The Colts are known as a classy organization, very upstanding. There's no swearing in practices or on the field. Good Christian values, as people like to say. And I can't believe that Tony Dungy would dime him out like that, as they like to say, rat on him, call him out, and say that they should think about trading Peyton Manning. How about some loyalty, some respect? If you're going to draft Andrew Luck, have Peyton tutor him. But I don't think you do that. I think you draft Andrew Luck and trade Andrew Luck. Who knows if this guy's going to be a bust? It's 50-50. Number 1 draft picks are a bust. Cam Newton's doing great this year. It doesn't usually work out like that. In fact, mathematically, Andrew Luck will be a bust. When one number 1 pick is great, the next one is a bust. So I would take Andrew Luck and all that hype, and he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced pie, and trade him. By the way, Peyton Manning in 1998, drafted number 1 overall, was just ahead of this guy named Ryan Leaf as far as draft selection, number 2. Ryan Leaf would have been a number 1 pick in any other draft. Ryan Leaf is a bust. So just something to point out there. Peyton Manning was the can't miss thing, but he actually didn't miss. Now, there are quarterbacks that miss. You never know with Andrew Luck. It is my good friend Andy Gershman, and like say, also known as Andy from the East Coast, a.k.a. Andy from the East Coast. Andrew Luck is a junior, and you don't know if he's going back for his senior year. So keep that in mind as well. And again, everyone, Mel Clayton, all these people, all these draft experts keep saying Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck, but you don't know what's going to happen with this guy. Peyton Manning's got, is Peyton Manning, crying out loud. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I don't know what he has in the tank or he doesn't, but I just don't think you could do that. Andrew Luck, by the way, if you're mathematically doing this, he was born in 1989. So if you do the math on that, 22 years old. And again, okay, he's a junior, but remember that he redshirted. Even though he's 22. So it's one of those weird things. Whatever. Again, at this point, he's only played 2 seasons. This is his 3rd. But he gets pretty good highlights. The 2011 Orange Bowl MVP. Last year, of course, he was the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy. As a sophomore playing-wise, but physically a junior. Don't even know if he's going to win. I mean, Stanford's playing great. They're ranked number 7. He could win the Heisman this year, but whatever. In 2010, again, finalists for the Maxwell Award, Walter Camp Award, David O'Brien Award, and the Manning Award. How funny would that be? He wins the Manning Award and then takes over Peyton's job. That'd be a good stuff. So, you don't know these people. You just don't know. Man, you just don't know really what to which direction to say for sure he's a can't miss. I'd stick with Peyton. Quarterbacks age like fine wine. A lot of quarterbacks play great in their late 30s. You know, and in other sports too. Look at Chris Carver, 36-year-old, kicking ass. So I wouldn't chuck Peyton. You either draft Andrew Luck and trade him, or you draft Andrew Luck and tutor him. And guess what? If there's a quarterback controversy, who cares? Deal with it. Andrew Luck is that great. If he's that great, then trade Peyton Manning. Don't trade Peyton Manning before Andrew Luck's on the field in the NFL. So, yes. We will be taking calls before Mark Gordon. And again, the number in Israel, 025631492. And in the old country, 301-850-2484. So you're welcome to join me, Mark Gordon, at approximately 11 o'clock, 11 p.m., and then 11:30, the community extraordinaire, Lori Brownstone. So let's take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back on Louis Live after this.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music, and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Okay, back at Louis Live, and no real updates on scores. We will be taking calls, and we're going to take a call right now. Caller, are you there?
I am, caller.
Hey.
Listener.
What's going on? Andy from the East Coast, my man. So much to talk about. World Series, NFL, Jason Campbell, Tony Dungy's comments. Where would you like to begin?
Whose comments? Tony Dungy?
Tony Dungy says that the Colts have the number one pick. They should take Andrew Luck and potentially trade Peyton Manning if that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. Well, Tony Dungy is a commentator these days, so I guess he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah, but it's not nice. There's supposed to be loyalty. I mean, come on. They worked together 7 years. Peyton Manning got him his only Super Bowl ring. You figured he would not say that.
I mean, I just think it's odd, the whole, Andrew Luck thing. I mean, I know they say he's a surefire, sure this, sure that, but, I mean, no one is sure, you know?
That's what I'm just mentioning. Number one picks, it's about 50-50. They're a bust. I mean, Cam Newton's great, but mathematically, Andrew Luck should be a bust. And in the year Peyton Manning was drafted, there was some guy named Ryan Leaf who was supposed to be the sure thing, and we all know how he turned out. He ended up being a Cowboy.
Right.
That's terrible.
Exactly. I mean, that's awful. Same with Drew Bledsoe. Wasn't, what's his name, Meyer?
Yes, yes, I knew you were talking about that. There was talk of either you go with Drew Bledsoe or Meyer, and it could have been Meyer. By the way, now in the past, you talk about Andrew Luck as a junior. It's a little misleading because he redshirted. So he is 22 years old, and he could play another year, a.k.a. like Matt Leinart, but I don't think he'll be that dumb, but who knows. Last year, of course, Heisman Trophy runner-up. But I think either it's weird to trade Peyton Manning, to trade him before Andrew Luck steps on an NFL football field. Game's a little bit different in the pros.
Oh, I agree. I mean, why wouldn't you, I don't know, to me, you hang on to him a bit and hey, look at Carson Palmer. I mean, they hung on to him and got 2 first-round picks out of him.
Yeah, now how about that? Jason Campbell finds that out while watching TV. This is a guy that's leading the Raiders at 4-2. He gets injured in week 6, breaks his collarbone, has surgery, and finds out while watching television. What a slap in the face to the former Raiders starting quarterback.
Former Raiders starting quarterback. Yeah.
I don't think they're bringing Carson. Yeah. I don't think they traded 2 first-round picks for Carson to hold a chalkboard and a clipboard. I think he's gets playing time.
I know. I mean, how bizarre, though, because, like you said, I mean, what Campbell was doing, I mean, he was serviceable. You know,
he's getting it done.
I'm sure they'd like him back here in Washington after what happened today.
Yes, disaster city there.
All you Redskin fans out there, if you didn't see that coming, I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Beck, one interception, 279 yards. You know, I want to ask you this question because
one interception with 3.5 minutes to go when they finally got the ball back. And what about Plaxico?
Well, by the way, see, I'm very happy that JTS Jets had just beat Cali Dave's Chargers, and I was a little nervous because in the third quarter the Chargers were about to pull away, and the Jets lost this game. Probably all she wrote in regards to playoffs. They get the win, 4-3, hanging around, and if they can knock off, they'll get another crack at the Bills. I don't think 3 teams are going from the AFC East, but I think 2 will. And they're going to be around. And we saw, once the Jets get in the playoffs, you know, they got a guy, Mark Sanchez, you know, say what you want to say, he's got 4 playoff road wins. So the Jets know how to have success at a lower seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, but this is it's weird to say, but it was almost a must-win.
I think, yes, I agree.
This is the toughest part of their schedule. Now they have a bye, I believe, next week. And then they come back with, they have a bye next week, and then they come back with the Patriots or something like that, or Bills, or...
So what? Next week is the bye, and then it's the Bills. And that game very well could decide who's going to the playoffs or not, especially if the Jets get the win. I mean, it's a little, I don't know, there's 2 games against the Bills. I probably a bit premature at saying that, but it's certainly the team in the driver's seat who wins the game. You'd say it that way. It's more of a must-win for the Jets, in my opinion.
Right. The Bills have the Redskins in Toronto, I believe, next week. So
that should be a win.
Be interesting. Yeah. Let's go to your boys.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you this question. Albert Pujols has 3 home runs yesterday, and again, only Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson have done this. But Chris Carpenter pitched great in Game 1, got them the win, and he's pitching Game 5. I assume that's the win. And he's the only Cardinals starter getting wins. Outside of Chris Carpenter, the Cardinals starters in the playoffs only have 1 win combined between the 3. And I think if Carpenter gets the win in Game 5, especially if it's a dominating performance, I think you have to get the MVP to him, even though Albert Pujols has done something only 2 other men have done. But what do you think?
I think you're wrong. I mean, he had 5 hits last night.
That's true. He also had the 2 singles.
Huh?
He did have the 2 singles, but if you want to talk MVP, if Carpenter gets the win in Game 5, as everyone expects, he's responsible for 2 wins, and Albert Pujols is responsible for 1.
I don't know.
If you look at the other stats, the funny thing about the stats, to give you how well the Cardinals hit, especially yesterday, and the numbers were inflated from yesterday, but Albert Pujols is tied for 3rd in batting average because everyone at the Cardinals is hitting right now. I mean, you have Craig at 429 for the World Series and Freese at 444. And you also RBI, it's possible Pujols doesn't have most RBIs in the World Series when it's all said and done because the Cardinals have a guy named Molina who's got 4 RBI. I mean, in yesterday's game. So I don't know.
Here's my question for you. How many? First of all, Craig has had what? 8 at bats.
Yeah, it's a little misleading, but I hear you saying. Okay.
Because going into last night, he only had 2 pinch hits at bat. So you've got that. But then Freese is a better argument. Has anyone checked out Mark McGwire's locker? That's what I want to know.
Right. Well, he's here to talk about the future, not talk about the past. So I guess I'll just talk about Game 4 and Game 5.
Right, like Albert Pujols' future contract. So that should certainly be interesting to see. Look, I mean, you can't count Texas out because, in a losing effort, they put up 7 runs.
Yeah.
Generally, if you had any kind of pitching, that would get you a win.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And, even more unbelievable to me is if the damn Braves had 1 more win, the Cardinals wouldn't even have been in the whole thing. So, I mean, that's unbelievable, when you think about it.
And when they won the World Series in 2006, just like they're going to win this year, they, of course, backed their way into the playoffs, losing a lot of games, and it looked like they were not getting in. And
I do have to take issue with you on your dynasty statement. I'm not sure. But you know what? But my question for you is, and honestly, is what does constitute a dynasty? I mean, is it back-to-backs? Is it 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3? I mean, where do you get that dynasty?
I would generally say,
I definitely think over the last 7 years, they probably are the best team. I mean, the Yankees haven't come close to that.
Right. Yeah, the Yankees. I would say generally dynasty is 3 out of 5. Sometimes things depend. If they made the playoffs one of those years or not. Like, for example, the Patriots dynasty, 3 out of 4 is very strong, but the year they didn't win the Super Bowl, they didn't make the playoffs at all. That somewhat hurt them, but I would still say that was a dynasty. Yankees, obviously, 4 out of 5 years win the World Series, a dynasty. I kind of say that tongue-in-cheek, but because the other 3 years that were still very solid years making the playoffs, but I kind of say that as a joke. I don't really believe that's a dynasty. Of course, they win next year. I don't know if they will without Albert Pujols, but then you have 3 out of 6 years. I would say that's pretty close to a dynasty.
Is Pujols, first of all, I strongly believe Pujols will be a St. Louis Cardinal next year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Pujols' biggest problem, he's got 2 problems. One is, he's got 3 problems. The first problem is named Mark Teixeira. The second problem is named Adrian Gonzalez. And the third problem is named Prince Fielder, because Prince Fielder is also a free agent who people may be willing to take a little discounted shot at. He's a little bit younger. He certainly is not the same player as Albert Pujols. But you've got, in your 2 biggest market, or your 2 biggest money spenders, you've got first baseman locked up for a long time.
Right.
So, unless, his chance, I hate to say this, his chance is that Ryan Howard's Achilles is blown out completely for, and Philly puts a run at him, does Atlanta or the Mets or the Dodgers? Who else is going to put a run at him?
Well, my biggest problem, because I just said 6 months ago, I still stand that he's not worth a contract, partly because he would be paid $30 million when he was 40 years old. We know, 40 people in their 40s can't really play baseball, so no, I'm just making a joke. There's some that can if they take steroids, I guess. I don't know. But in any case, I don't think that is what I would want to see the Cardinals do. I still think he's the best player in baseball, even though he's not going to win the MVP this year. So I don't have a problem if he's the highest paid player in the league for the next couple of years. But I think paying him that much money at that age is a little too much. If it was $30 million over 5 years, based on what the market bears, I think that makes more sense.
How strange would it be if they let him go and then they sign Prince Fielder?
I guess anything's possible. But he's so beloved in St. Louis. He's the face of the franchise. It would be like the Patriots losing Tom Brady. I really believe that. I think it's the same type of thing.
It would be like the Colts losing Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hey, you're going to talk to Mark Gordon?
Yes, something happened last night, and he insisted on being on, and I caved in, and so there was some upset in soccer.
Well, tell him congratulations from me. I know what it is. Man City, 6-1.
Man City, 6-1, yes. So everyone is crying in England, and half the city is in ruins or rioting. I don't know what's going on. Who knows? We'll have to ask Mark about that. All right.
But it's not nearly as exciting as the All Blacks winning in New Zealand. But anyway.
Yeah, Arrow, of course, very impressed that you knew that.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, sir.
Andy from the East Coast calling in. Let's take a break. And as Andy mentioned, Mark Gordon from the Goal, the World Soccer Show, talked about the big loss. Man United losing. We'll take a commercial break and be back with Mark Gordon after this. Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Mojave says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call is 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event to the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
As everybody cries, everybody hurts sometimes.
Back here on Louis Live, and I think this is the song all the Man U fans are singing because they lose in a huge upset 6-1, and the man discussing this upset, the co-host of Goal, the World Soccer Show, which can be heard every Wednesday at Wednesday at 10 p.m. on Israel Sports Radio, Mark Gordon. Mark, how you doing tonight? Sorry I butchered your intro. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Ari.
Yes, I appreciate it.
I'm amazed you even spelled my name right on the website.
Well, I went through it. I actually had our intern spell check your name to make sure we got it done. So, Man U loses 6-1. Let's discuss in terms. I hate when the media idiots and the media dumbheads start saying, well, this is the worst upset in history, is it? Whatever. But how bad is this in terms of upsets? Where does this rank all time in upsets in the world of footy?
There was a chance that City would win. I think City have spent a lot of money. They've built a team based on money from Abu Dhabi. They were second favourites to win the title. So it wasn't unexpected, but it was just the size of the win.
The 6-1.
To win by 6-1 is like the Mets going to Yankee Stadium and winning by 20, or the Clippers going into the Staples Center and turning over the Lakers by 60 points. The last time United lost a game by that many goals was in the 1950s. Winston Churchill had just resigned as Prime Minister of Britain.
So that is a pretty big deal. About 60 years since something like that happened. What was the reason Man U had such a big deficit? Why did they give up the 6 goals? Defensive scheme, players being injured, players not playing that well. Well, what happened exactly?
There were a number of things that United could point to and say we weren't at our best. They were missing Nemanja Vidic, who is their top defender. He was out. He was watching the game from the stands. They also had a player sent off the pitch just after half-time when the score was 1-0. So, it did help City when 10 played 11 men. But in history, United have come back from being a man down and have beaten City. So it's not unheard of for City to capitulate, even though they've got an extra man. So, I think it was 1989, City won 5-1 against United at their own ground, but certainly going to Old Trafford, no one has won this big in years, and certainly Alex Ferguson has never, ever been humiliated like this in his 25 years as manager.
Is this his worst game as manager?
Yeah, without a doubt, and even he said so. The City fans, were enjoying themselves so much, they were singing he's going to get sacked in the morning, but he's, the one manager that will never be fired.
Right, I was just about to ask that.
He'll pick his retirement date.
Okay, so even with this loss, based on everything he's done, they're not calling in sports talk radio in the United Kingdom saying we got to get rid of him.
I'm sure there'll be one or two fans, starting to phone up saying, his time is over. There always are. I mean, it was happening at the beginning of the season with Arsenal. We had people phone into our show saying Arsene Wenger, after 19 years, had to go. But Arsenal have won 5 games in a row at home now and have settled down. Fans always want to win tomorrow, and they always, look for somebody to blame. But, no one in their right mind will be calling for Ferguson to leave. United have a game this week against a team called Aldershot, who in the League Cup. Aldershot are 3 divisions below them, and I think they are going to get a severe punishment as a sort of revenge for United to get them back on track.
Now, with the 6-1 loss, where does this put in terms of standings and in regards to potential championship victories? Where does it put both teams?
Well, with the English Premier League system, you get 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, and nothing for a loss. After I think it's 9 games now, City have got a 5-point lead on Manchester United and a 6-point lead on Chelsea, who also lost today against a team that's just been promoted. So there's another shock there for Chelsea, not on the same scale, but they lost 2-0 and had 2 players sent off and seemed to disintegrate against Queen's Park Rangers. So City are looking comfortable at the moment with a gap, but the season is 38 games. So, there are 29 games and 87 points to be won and lost.
Now, in all seriousness, I'm asking this with respect to the United Kingdom, but are there rioting going on? Riots, things being destroyed because of the shock of this loss of Man U losing 6-1?
No. It's one of the things that doesn't really happen after these sort of games. Any sort of fighting or rioting tends to be down to pre-organised meetings between sets of fans. One set of fans will just go home with their heads down and try and avoid seeing the other set of fans. They're not going to be involved with fighting. There is a standing joke in England that Manchester United fans don't live in Manchester. Not entirely true, but it's ironic that the 2 motorways that the United fans have to go back down to London on are the M6 and the M1, and the score was 6-1. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of gags about 6-1.
Very nice. But hold on a second. You're trying to say what these soccer fans are too peaceful to riot? I mean, we see stuff happen at the games, rioting at the games. You say nothing's going to happen here after all this? No. The game passed off peacefully. All the fans went home. A lot of the fans had left before the end of the game. The City fans stayed to the end of the game and stayed long after. But the City fans, there hasn't really been a history of rioting between the 2 sets of fans. I think over 30 years, when United have won 20-plus trophies and City have won 1, City fans have sort of kept hidden. But, the boot is starting to go on the other foot now. I don't think this is the end of United by any means. I think United will come back from this. But, in Sunday in Manchester at the moment, there will be City fans crowing everywhere, in the bars singing, posting everything they can on Facebook, and United fans sitting there very quietly and trying to avoid them. Now, I believe Speaker's Corner is closed on Sundays. Is that correct? But Monday, any Man U fans get up at Speaker's Corner talk about how much the team sucks, anything like that, you think?
Not really. It's not the sort of common stuff they talk about at Speaker's Corner. One funny story. One of the players who scored 2 goals is a player called Mario Balotelli. He has a reputation for being temperamental and stupid. But he's on a hot streak at the moment. He scored 6 goals in 5 games. But on Friday night, the fire brigade were called to his house in England because he was playing with fireworks in his bathroom. And he almost burned down his house.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, there was a video of him that was circulating around the internet last month, he couldn't actually put on his training bib vest, the training bib that they wear so that you can identify when they're playing five-a-side soccer. And it went viral, and everybody could see him, and he was renamed Bibatelli because he couldn't actually put on a vest.
Wait, he was really that stupid? That wasn't a prank? That wasn't a joke? He's really that dumb to put on he can't put on a vest? He doesn't know how to do that?
He had to get a member of staff to help him, and this was all on camera at a training ground. You know, he has a reputation for being a complete numbskull. But, you know, he's suddenly calmed down. Mancini seems to have got him to focus on his football, and, you know, while he's scoring, City are winning. City have played 9 games in the league and won 8 and drawn 1 now. So, you know, that's the best record in the Premier League and City's best start ever, I think.
So we was talking about that Man U, this loss with this deficit, we haven't seen anything like this in about 50, 60 years. On the other side, City's victories are the greatest victory in their history.
Certainly against United, it's you know, in the modern era, certainly after the war, City have never gone to Old Trafford and done this to United. There was a week, I think, in about 1950 when United lost 2 games at home by 6 goals and 7 goals. But since then, and you know, certainly in the modern era of the Premier League since 1992, I don't think United have even conceded 4 at home, never mind 6.
Wow. So, okay, but outside of Man United, is the City's top 5 victory, top 10? Where does it rank in their history, just overall?
No, I think certainly in my lifetime of supporting City, I can't remember City being so dominant against
Wait,
United.
you support City? No, I'm kidding.
No, I may have mentioned it once or twice on the show. It's not just the win and it's not just beating United. I think there's a vindication of the manager. A lot of people have criticised the manager. There was an article from a former manager who also happened to be an ex-Man United player on Friday basically saying, you know, City don't really stand much of a chance because the manager's too autocratic, and the team hasn't bonded, whereas United have bonded as a team. And, you know, in 90 minutes today on the pitch, there was only one team playing together.
That's true.
They were just absolutely awesome. There's a player called David Silva, who's a small midfielder from the Canary Islands, who signed about 18 months ago, and he was just at the centre of everything. You know, the United players couldn't touch him. You know, but City have like 4 or 5 of these players that they've signed in the last 2 years. And, you know, I think hopefully now City can build on that and go on and win the title.
Now, Manchester United, this might be kind of a weird thing to say, but the American analogy is somewhat to the New York Yankees, I suppose.
No, absolutely. And I think they even have a joint marketing agreement that they signed about 10 years ago because they saw each other as the biggest brands in the world. You know, United is certainly the best supported team in the world. There's an argument now that Barcelona and Real Madrid have caught them up, but United have a huge following, particularly in the Far East.
Now, so they're the Yankees of the world of football. What is City then? What's the best analogy to City?
City, I'm just trying to think. City historically have probably been the Clippers.
Okay, it's been that bad.
From a baseball point of view, I don't know. I mean, have the Mets ever won anything?
The Mets have won 2 World Series, but more in New York, there's certainly the red-headed stepchild, if you will, to the New York Yankees. So I don't know if the Clippers, though, are one of the worst franchises ever. I don't know if you're saying
I think City are probably closer to the Mets. They had a glory period in between 1968 and 1975 where they won a European trophy, they won the league, they won a couple of cups. But before last year, they hadn't won a trophy since 1976.
Okay.
You know, I suppose they could be like the Red Sox as they were 4 or 5 years ago.
Because, you know, with the Mets won a World Series in 1969 and 1986, and that are the only 2 titles. Went to the World Series and also 2000. And again, but whenever they get the victory over the New York Yankees in interleague play, it is a huge deal for the blue-collar fans. That's my next question. City fans in general, and I know this is a little weird because since you're a City fan, but what is the demographic stereotype? Yankee fans tend to be more rich, upper class, businessmen, that type of thing. Met fans more blue collar. So give us the demographics of Man U fans and City fans.
Well, being a City fan, I have to say they're all hugely wealthy, well-bred, upper class.
Very handsome.
Yeah, good-looking, nice haircut. You know, very smart. No, generally the City fans tend to come from more sort of the east of the city, and it's probably the slightly poorer half, although the United fans tend to base themselves around the boroughs of Trafford and Salford, which aren't themselves any smarter. I think United have had more of a pull with the business community and the international community, stemming back possibly to the Munich tragedy in 1958, where United suddenly, gained global fame when there was a very unfortunate accident at Munich airport coming back from a European game, where I think 7 of their team members were killed. Suddenly everybody in the world knew exactly who Man United were. And I think their fame has grown exponentially from there. They're actually owned by the Glazer family now, who also own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
And ironically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing at Wembley today. So the 3 Glazer brothers were flying directly from the Man United game down to Wembley to watch the Buccaneers. And the Manchester United captain, Rio Ferdinand, was going to share their private jet with them. But he was so embarrassed by the defeat that he decided not to fly with them because he couldn't face an hour with the owners of the club asking what the hell went wrong.
Yeah, that's not a fun flight. I don't care how good the movie is.
Yeah, and just to top it off for the Glazers, they had a good day. By the end of the third quarter, they were 21-5 down against the Bears.
Right, and it looks like the Bears are going to pull through. The series already final 24-18, so the Bears already won that game.
Yeah, I mean, by the time the Buccaneers got into it, it was already over. So, I think the Glazers will be looking forward to their return flight.
You know what? I still say, though, if I was in a position where 2 of my sports franchises lost, I'd still be happy that I own 2 sport franchises. So I still not going to cry for the Glazer family. Yeah,
unlike some of the owners in the NBA at the moment, I think Man United is still seen as a saleable asset. Again, ironically, I'm off to Singapore this week.
Yes.
Manchester United are thinking of selling 40% of their shares on the Singapore Stock Exchange.
Whoa.
The Glazer family are looking to recoup some of the money that they invested in the club, and they're selling the shares not in London, not in the US, but in Singapore, of all places.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they feel that the Far East is a commercially important fan base for them. So they want the ownership of the club to sort of move towards the Far East to some extent. So they were looking at a flotation in Singapore. I think after today, they won't be raising quite as much as they'd hoped.
Yeah, basically, how much money did that game cost them to lose 6-1 to City like that?
In terms of, if they go on and win the league, it will have cost them nothing. And ultimately, if you lose a game 1-0 or 6-1, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just, 1 victory and 1 defeat. I think what it signified is that they now have a serious rival for the title. United have lost the title sort of about every third year, and then keep winning, every two out of every 3. If there's a team that can seriously challenge them in the UK as well as teams in Europe, I think it will potentially knock up to 100 million off the value.
Okay, wow. So big money to be lost, could be recouped. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the whole overall value of the club is seen at about $1.5 million plus. So, I don't think the whole club will have been, completely devalued by this, because ultimately United's main value is in its commercial value, the amount it can attract from sponsorship, and it will still attract that because of the global fan base.
When you say $1.5 million, do you mean
billion?
Billion. Okay, all right. I thought million to make less sense. Okay, $1.5 billion for the total value of the club. So again, we feel great for Malcolm Glazer and company, and good stuff for them. Now this week on Goal, you mentioned Singapore. Are you Are you hosting this week?
No, I'm actually going to be in mid-air at that point, and unless I can get linked up to the internet and on an internet phone, I think I will be absent. But the following week, I will be broadcasting live, hopefully from Singapore.
Okay, so that'll be a lot of fun. So this week, you won't be on, but I'm sure the show will be great. Well,
the Chopper will be there, and I'm sure he'll have some fabulous guests.
Yes, so David Z. Harris will be hosting, not Mark Gordon. But
not only will he be talking about the demise of United, but Barcelona have dropped off the top of the Spanish league and have really not been playing to form this season either. So there's plenty to talk about. Milan, the Italian champions for the last 3 years, are languishing in mid-table. The big names are really struggling this year.
I got to tell you, also, there's all those weeks of catching up with really funny, goofy names, I'm sure that David will talk about.
Possibly. We may well have moved on from that and grown up.
Yeah, right. Ha ha ha. Please. We know what happened after last week's show. I can't even say it on the air. It wasn't swearing people, but it was...
Well, you can't say titty camera on the air.
Right, titty camera, I guess we can't say. No, I was referred to David Harris's flatulent scene, and then when I put my head in my arms, he tapped me on the shoulder and called me a freaking hypocrite. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about these things. I'm a serious broadcaster.
Absolutely.
That never comes into it.
And one of the best, Mark Gordon, the co-host of Goal, the World Soccer Show. Thank you so much for being on Louis Lifetime, and we look forward to your return on the show a week from Wednesday from Singapore.
Always a pleasure. Speak to you soon.
All right, be well.
Bye-bye.
That was Mark Gordon, host of Goal, the World Soccer Show. Great stuff from always breaking down the huge loss. Man United loses 6-1 to City. And again, for those of you who are into American sports, he said, I think Yankees Mets is I guess if the Yankees beat the Mets the Mets beat the Yankees 20-2, and let's say the Yankees threw out CeCe Sabathia, it's probably that type of thing. So a big deal in the world of soccer, but hopefully everybody is keeping their heads up out in the United Kingdom. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, a comedian extraordinaire who has performed at Laughs Comedy Club and at the Laugh Factory in California, Lori Brownstone, right after this on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Chani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Chani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Chani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email chani@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.chanisgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamic specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Schutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248, or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game. Israel Sports Dynamic specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Schutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248, or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in FIT. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984 at yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984 at yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Back here on Louis Live and IsraelSportsRadio.com, and we give special thanks to Mark Gordon, host of the World Soccer Show. And it is time to celebrate because on the line right now, comedian extraordinaire who's performed at Laughs Comedy Club and the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles, all the way from Tucson, Arizona, Lori Brownstone. Lori, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing great. And now, of course, Mark was just on, and Mark has a British accent, so the British can say whatever they want. It always sounds classy, correct?
Exactly. I don't know what the heck this guy said. I just know I was swooning all over my house a few minutes ago. So he could say anything.
Yeah, he could say it's not fair. I mean, British people could say something like, I just robbed a bank, and everyone will say, oh, that's charming and classy, and just they can let him get away with it. It's not really fair to us.
Oh, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. They sound absolutely wonderful. Except sometimes you can't understand a word they're saying, but who the heck cares anyway? Because we women, we don't listen to men anyway, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for me. Unless I can figure a way to do an impersonation of a British accent, then I'm kind of like SOL. Now, you have some news you wanted to pass along to your brother because something happened in rugby, so go ahead, giddy up, take the stage.
Oh, yeah, let me see. Let's see. What did my brother Daniel want me to mention here? Let me see if I can get my computer working. Let's see. Okay. Don't forget to talk. He told me not to suck, so I'll try not to. But he said, don't forget to talk about Rugby New Zealand beating France to win the big international World Rugby Cup. Because New Zealand hasn't won the very first year. Let's see. They only won in 1987, and the tournament was in New Zealand. And so the country is going nuts. Do we care? No, we don't.
No, I don't really care at all. But in any case, the Rugby Cricket Show, they talked about the World Cup, and we had the kid, this Mark, the intern. He did the producing. I have no idea what happened in rugby cricket. I don't really care. Of course, everyone can check out the Rugby Cricket Show every Sunday at 9 p.m. here on IsraelSportsRadio.com. It's a great show. I just don't know really anything about it. But in any case, going on to sports we do care about and that do matter. NHL starting. The Boston Bruins, the defending champs. Who do you like in hockey, and what do you think will happen this season?
I think, well, first of all, I think it's too early to tell. I mean, I think it's, Boston's really great. Of course, Vancouver wants to kind of, come back and do their thing. And then, of course, the Blackhawks are there, and they're doing okay. I think one thing we can say for sure about ice hockey this year, I'll be shocked if the new Winnipeg Jets win more than 10 games this entire season.
Wow.
It's unfortunate, but I think that's where they're going.
The new Winnipeg Jets, I talk about that because, of course, out in Arizona, the Phoenix Coyotes used to be the Winnipeg Jets, and you have a connection with Winnipeg, and now they have the Jets back.
Exactly.
Right, because they used to be the Thrashers of Atlanta. Right? Is that what happened?
Exactly. Yes, exactly, and Atlanta ended up going to Winnipeg, and I was born and raised in Winnipeg, and while there's no reason really to go to that city anymore, at least they have hockey, so that's the big thing about it. I'm glad they kept the name the Winnipeg Jets. They went back to it. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't retire number 9, Bobby Hull's jersey. I kind of was hoping for that. And as I mentioned before in your show, Bobby Hull was a neighbor of mine. He used to drive us all to Winnipeg Jets games. And as a matter of fact, he signed a stick for my brother, and that's worth a lot of money now. But unfortunately, I think my mother gave it away years ago in a garage sale.
Yeah, that sucks. That happens sometimes.
Yes, I know.
Now, how much?
Yes, I know.
How much did she get for the stick at the garage sale? Do you happen to know?
I think my mother probably paid somebody to take it away, so she probably lost about $5 at that time.
And if the stick would be around today, what would it be worth? Does anyone? I always hate people hate doing this, but whatever. I mean, I guess the way it is.
Oh, I think it would be worth several $100s at this stage of the game, unfortunately. But I still have a hockey puck that Bobby Hull gave me that he slipped up into my hand, so I can always whack my mother with it a few times when we talk about the hockey stick. So
now, okay, so you have a prediction of the Winnipeg Jets only getting 10 wins throughout the entire season, but who do you like to take? Again, it is early, but are the Boston Bruins the favorites to take the Stanley Cup at this point?
I still think it's too early to say, and there's very few teams that have actually taken the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row. I'd say no. They're not. I don't know who I like this year yet. I don't think Pittsburgh is very strong, but again, it's too early to tell. They've only started, and as you know, hockey season goes on forever. I mean, we'll be talking about hockey till June.
Yes, indeed. Now, and again, one more time, the Canadian dish that's served in Montreal that's cheese and weird stuff is for 10 points.
I'm going to pronounce it wrong and embarrass myself, but it's poutine or something like that.
That's correct.
It's disgusting.
Poutine. It is disgusting. It is correct. And but actually, well, I'll tell you what. Can we get that pronunciation one more time? How do you say that again?
I'm going to try this poutine and embarrass myself. Actually, I pronounced it incorrect a couple of times, and unfortunately, I think I'll have to edit the word out if I pronounced it incorrectly. So I think we'll just have to go with that. How about disgusting crap you wouldn't want to eat anywhere? That's another word for it.
The audience, what do you think for that? Yes, disgusting crap it is. We want no part of that. Now, Lori, you of course have a great career. You've done Comedy and Laughs Comedy Club and the Laugh Factory Los Angeles. But not everyone who listens to Israel Sports Radio knows that you're a movie star as well. So tell us a bit about that.
A movie star? Where did you hear that?
Oh, well, you know what? God, if your memory is not, audience, should we play the clip?
Horace said, "No problem. I'm sure he'll be very nice." And we got the...
Oh, for a few more okay, you dragged that up from my past, haven't you?
Yes, actually, I should back up. I said movie star, TV star, Star Trek. Of course, they did make a Star Trek movie, so I don't know. Actually, this was Star Trek the movie. It started as a TV show, of course. This is the movie set, and this is Lori Brownstone on the set. The big movie star here with us at Israel Sports Radio, and very humble about her time on the Star Trek filming set. So
absolutely.
Yes.
If it wasn't for me, I don't think you'd see any Star Trek movies. So really, you can thank me or hit me anytime you want.
So you're the reason the Star Trek movie series was a success. So tell us all about that and the success and just the whole stardom and everything and all that good stuff. What's it like to be a movie star?
Well, of course, I'm very humble about that. You know, I make sure that I give away all of my millions of dollars so I'm living poor, and I'm making sure nobody knows about me, and that's the true nature of a movie star. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Humility, of course, second nature to a movie star. But this was really cool stuff, and people should definitely check it out. Type in Lori Brownstone on YouTube, and it's one of the videos you see about Star Trek. What is this though exactly? They filmed the set, filmed at Winnipeg, and you somehow got on the set. So tell us about that story.
Okay, I'm surprised you found that, but I'll bring it. But now that you brought it up, and by the way, I don't want to get off the topic of hockey. I just want to say that I was I'll go back to that, but I just wanted to say I was very excited when I watched on TV the Winnipeg Jets' first home game ever in 15 years at the new arena, and it was really weird to see the Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, just sitting there like any other person in the stands watching the game. I cannot imagine Obama just trekking in to sing a Rangers game, or a Washington Caps game. So I thought that was very Canadian of him. So I just wanted to mention that was really cool. On that note, so I was a little kid living in Winnipeg, and as any other stupid kid my age. I had a crush on William Shatner at that time, so my friend and I flew to L.A. to meet him, and it's a total fluke. We actually got on the set, and when we got on the set, we couldn't actually make it. We actually snuck onto the set, and he wasn't there. So Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov at that time, said, hey, if you guys meet me outside the studio the next morning and I'll sneak you into the car and I'll introduce you to everybody. So sure enough, we did, and he ended up introducing us to everybody, and we had an amazing experience on that set. So when I came back to Winnipeg, it was kind of embarrassing. So anyway, Walter Koenig wrote us up in a book, a diary, the day-to-day accounts of Star Trek, and how he snuck on and how he helped us and everything. So cut to about 6 months later. For some reason, and I forgot all about this really geeky guy in a Star Trek uniform interviews my friend and I. Actually, my friend couldn't make it on that day. I think she's having her wisdom teeth out. Interviews me in his basement on his 8mm camera. Didn't even remember it. So cut to about, several years later. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but several years later, and I'm thinking, I wonder how many Laurie Brownstones there are in the world. Especially, I kind of have a quirky spelling of my first name. So I punched it in, and sure enough, it was on YouTube. And it was me, 19 years old, with a big Jew fro, telling the story. So if anybody wants a good laugh and is a Star Trek fan, just Google me, Lorrie Brownstone, and you'll see something really embarrassing that I've forgotten about so many years ago.
And, of course, the magic of YouTube, bringing it back to the fold, giving you a bit of embarrassment. Were you shocked when you saw that you are on YouTube and this whole Star Trek movie thing?
Oh, totally, because when I Googled myself, I expected to see clips of myself from different, comedy clubs because they post things and everything. I never expected to see that. I nearly peed my pants. It was so funny. Like, I couldn't believe I saw that. And I couldn't believe it because I didn't even remember doing it. But if somebody wants to see something that's laugh, the only thing I wished I had, and I have a thick Canadian accent. So you've got to listen to that.
Yeah, actually, we'll play some of this. I noticed when I was listening to the research. Let's take a listen.
On the set of Happy Days or something, and that could get you by because no one is allowed around that area.
And didn't he tell you also that you're not supposed to...
Now, who is this guy interviewing? This guy named Hans Goldfuss.
Right,
who is this guy? Who's this nerd?
I have no idea. It's some guy in a geeky Star Trek uniform that happened to interview me. It's really hysterical. I didn't even remember doing this thing, but obviously I did. Some guy's basement somewhere, and it was really, I don't know. I think the guy's probably like 100 years old right now. I have no idea.
Well, I think Hans is a little nervous. I think this is the first time he's actually talked to a girl before, so he looks a little weird with it.
I think so too. I mean, he couldn't even look me into the eye. In the eye, it was absolutely embarrassing.
Now, let's listen to this accent a little more.
This area right now, it's close set, and I don't want to see you around here again. But now my friend and I have come so close.
Yeah, that is a little thicker, but everyone can tell. I think that it's still your voice, but it's a thicker accent because, of course, that was before you started living in the United States.
Well, yeah, and of course at that time I had enough swing to the end of my voice, and everybody talks like this in Canada and asking the questions.
Now, are you in the credits of that movie, by the way?
No, I'm not. I wish I was, but I'm not. I tried to be. I begged him, and they said, "Get out of here, kiddo, or we're going to call the cops." So that didn't happen. But we did get to go hang out on the set of Happy Days, and I did get a kiss from the Fonz. And I had to tell you, in the late '70s, that was something.
Yeah, it certainly was. Getting a kiss from the audience. You like that? Yes. Fonz Henry Winkler, member of the tribe. So that's good stuff. We approve that here at No Sports Radio. Henry Winkler, the Fonz. But in real life, though, he's supposed to be a nerd. Did he keep his nerdiness, or was he the Fonz with you?
No, he was definitely the Fonz. I mean, he was really cool. Yeah, and Richie Cunningham was there, Ron Howard was there too. But my friend and I didn't want to kiss him because he had a huge cold sore at the side of his mouth. So we kind of went, "How do you do?" and shook his hand and washed our hands after that.
Oh, that sucks. But it would be, I don't know, outside of that, then you'd want to kiss Ron Howard if he didn't have a cold sore? It's Ron Howard.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
but
man.
He wasn't cool at that time, I mean, Fonzie was the cool guy.
Well, Ron Howard, give him credit. He's one of the child star actors that didn't, blow his head off for getting cocaine. I mean, he's a pretty successful movie producer. He's not bad. He's doing okay.
No, he is. And if I wasn't such a dumb kid at age 19, I probably would have taken advantage of meeting him in that situation. But unfortunately, when you're 19 and you're not expecting to do that, and you get a kiss from the Fonz, all you can turn around and go is like go, and not do anything else. So.
All right.
So,
Now, per your request, I didn't want to get off the whole. You wanted to talk some more hockey, and even though I love talking the movie star stuff with you and everything like that, I obviously want to acquiesce. So, I'll tell you before you continue, you made a great point to me in the green room in regards to how great of a sport hockey is, and that hockey players could play, let's say, football, but football players really couldn't play hockey. So, expand a little bit about that.
I don't know if I think if I expanded on it like I did in the green room, you'd have to shut me off here. I'm just saying that, hockey is a more technical sport. You can take a bunch of hockey players, and you can throw them on a field and put a ball in their hands, and they can run back and forth, and they can play the sport. I'd like to see all of these big football guys on ice skates and see if they can get from one end of the rink to the other while still holding the stick. So I don't think that'll happen. And hockey players are definitely more rugged. I mean, there's 70, 80 games in a year. How many games are in a year? Football. One Sunday. Then they've got a bye week. They may play 5 games all season. Really? That's a sport? Come on.
Well said. That's true. Of course, if any of the NFL players listening, Lori's saying that, not me, so I don't really mean any of that. But yeah, a lot of people think, I do think of all the major sports, it's the toughest to play for. Again, like you said, you got to have agility, you got to skate, you got to have skill, you got to be tough, got to sprint, you got to do a little of everything. But again, so how close though is football to hockey? Is there that much of a gap between the two sports?
A huge gap. I'm telling you, I think most hockey players can play football. Very few football players can play hockey, because it requires a lot more skill than being, 300 pounds and about 20 feet wide. You've got guys playing hockey. Come on, it's true. You've got guys playing hockey that are like 5'9", somebody who you wouldn't look twice at on the street as being a professional player.
Right.
And they're getting beat up on the boards, and then you've got these real, rough guys playing hockey. It takes skill with the stick, with that, and you know what it takes? It also takes guts. It takes more guts because you've got to go to that dentist every other week to get new teeth put in. I don't see the football players doing that. Do you?
And the football players make a lot more money. I mean, these dentist bills come out of these hockey players' checks. They can't always afford it. So and then they take their teeth fixed. Yeah, that sucks.
And as long as you're beating up the Montreal Canadian players, I'm happy.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Well, I agree. I agree with that too. As a matter of fact. Yeah. Stupid Canadians. Stupid Canadians.
Although I got to tell you, it was really surreal. Seeing the Winnipeg Jets home game, that was really kind of neat. And then actually seeing the Winnipeg Jets play the Phoenix Coyotes, I watched that game as well. I probably should have gone up to Phoenix to see the game, but I didn't. But that was kind of odd. A lot of tension in that arena that night.
Oh, for sure. Now in Phoenix, they probably would fall asleep. Or well, I don't know. Did people stay up in Phoenix and watch the game?
Well, they do because it starts at 1 p.m., so that's good.
Okay, fine. All right, if it was past 6 p.m., everyone would have slept already and not really cared.
Right, and then they can go to their early bird dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think it works out well in Phoenix to have a team. I really do.
Oh, it's $2.99 for the early bird, so you got to take advantage of it. But
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to compare it to this much, but I guess when the Cleveland Browns played the Baltimore Ravens, I don't know if because the Cleveland team left and became Baltimore. I don't know exactly what you related to, but yeah, that is pretty weird. The Winnipeg Jets became the Coyotes, and then the Jets come back. So a lot of bad blood. Do you think that will continue? Will that be a pretty good rivalry between those two teams?
I think so, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I'm also looking forward to seeing some games in person this year, thanks to my brother who shares season tickets. He lives in San Francisco, and he shares tickets with a couple of people. I get to see a couple of San Jose Shark games, so I'm already trying to line up a couple of them to go up there because it's an absolute, great time there no matter what. So, and actually, I'm thinking of moving out of Tucson. So I have to pick a city that has a good professional hockey team. So that's my basis for moving.
Wait, are you thinking of moving out of Tucson?
Probably within a few months I'll probably be gone, but that doesn't mean that I can't talk to you from wherever I am.
No, wait, just check this out. Now, you're thinking of moving out of Tucson, correct, and not living in Tucson, Arizona anymore?
Correct.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've been to Tucson before, and that's why we played the clap here. Yeah.
Well, I love Tucson. It's a great city. Love my home club, but it's time to move on. And right now, when you're when you're down a little bit, when you have some off time in the comedy weeks like I have now, it's nice to live in a city that offers a little more. So I'll have to either go to New York or LA pretty soon. Probably New York because it's closer to Israel.
Yeah, New York to Israel is only one flight, so that's definitely a plus. What have any of these comedy clubs in either of these cities been calling you, trying to, you know how they say, convert, or what's the better, recruit and try to get you to come to their city?
I have received so many calls from so many clubs in LA and New York.
Awesome.
And it's wonderful. I keep on getting the same response. Lori, please stop calling us. and that's what I'm getting when I converse with them. You know, it's a really hard market. You just have to go out there. There's probably more clubs and more road work and more things going on in New York. It's probably where I'll end up. But, you know, it is colder there. So, well, you know what? Here's the bottom line. We'll have to see how the Rangers do. Because the LA Kings are pretty tough this year. So they could put, you know, Boston and those teams, give them a good run for their money again.
But, of course, the advantage of being in New York is you're closer to other teams outside the Rangers. If the Rangers do suck, you could see Islander games. You could take a trip and see some Bruin games. And you're not, you know, so far from the Canadian markets as well. So that is an advantage about New York City.
And that's why I should move there. I have to tell you, at the heart of it, you know, even though I've lived in Arizona and I'm an American, I've lived here for, you know, almost a quarter of a century. Of course, I'm telling you how old I am now. I have to tell you, there's still the old ice hockey Canadian blood. My brother, who lives in San Francisco, is an attorney, and he happened to be in D.C. a couple of years ago. He was doing some work there. He said, Lori, do you want to come along? I said, okay. I've never been to D.C. before, and he said, there's so many things to do here. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? The first thing that we thought about was, let's see if there's a hockey game. So we bought tickets to see the Caps play before we did anything else.
Wow.
So that's exactly what we do. So, yeah, it'll probably be the East Coast, and there's more teams there. So that'll probably be where I end up. And there's a lot more comedy there, too. I mean, I'm still at Laughs. I'm booked in here in March. I'm waiting for club dates in the Middle East, hopefully, and hopefully Thailand. We'll see.
Wow.
I've put in for that. And I have club dates in the Midwest coming up as well.
Yeah, please tell us about that. Where can people see you perform if they live near the Midwest, and we'll come out and see you? Where can you, what dates and where will you be performing at?
Well, I'm still waiting on dates, so I can't tell you exactly. But the wonderful clubs that I do in the Midwest, there's one in Milwaukee. I do Skyline in Appleton, Wisconsin. I know it's a tiny place, but the club is absolutely awesome. And it's called Skyline, and it's in Appleton. The owners are great. You should, if you're there, you should catch a show. And, of course, as I said, my home club in March. And the Looney Bin Comedy Clubs are great. They have 4 clubs in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wichita, and Little Rock. And I just ended up doing a run there, and I'm hoping to go back really soon.
And you mentioned potentially Thailand. Of course, you participate in the USO show. Or any chance that you would do another USO show in other foreign markets outside of Thailand?
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to go back to Iraq, but everybody's pulling out of there, which is a good thing, you know. So the shows are kind of winding down, and we're just trying to see about Afghanistan. So hopefully, I'd love to come back wherever our troops are. I'd love to go, and I'd like to help entertain them and again give something back. Plus, as I said before, anything to get away from my kids. So the further they send me, the better I am.
And that's not just because it's a bunch of fit 20-year-olds in uniforms. That's not why you're performing, right?
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, 20-year-old hot guys in uniform. See, I've told you the story. This really hot guy, really hot soldier, took me on New Year's when I was in Iraq. He was in his 30s. Like I told you, I'm a 9 in Baghdad. So they were all over me there.
All right, Lori, great stuff as always. Thank you so much for being on Louis Live and Israel Sports Radio. Good luck to the Winnipeg Jets. I hope they get more than 10 wins, but that is your prediction. We have that recorded. We have that noted, and we'll see how they do at the end of the year if they only get to 10 wins.
Hey, I'm hoping I'm wrong, and I'm also hoping that Chicago Blackhawks take another title this year. Remember, they're my team, and I'm actually wearing a Chicago Blackhawks hat on right now.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, so could be 2 titles in 3 years. That'd be pretty dynastic. So we'll find out at the end.
So.
It's a long hockey season, but we will have a champion. But Lori, thank you so much for being on tonight on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Hey, thanks for having me again. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, be well. That was Lori Brownstone, a comedian extraordinaire. Actually, what I'm going to do is play Lori's comedy set here. That's right, Lori. I have your comedy set. So we're going to play that and take a commercial break and then wrap things up here on Louis Live.
Special guest tonight, her name is Lori Brownstone.
single parent, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. So let's get started by taking a poll of the audience. If you have a kid, I want to hear you by a round of applause. Let me hear you. Okay, if you're not a parent, I'd like to hear you by a round of applause. Let me hear you if you don't have kids. You feel the energy in the crowd, parents? You feel that energy? God bless you. Some of you don't have kids, and maybe some of you shouldn't have kids. But what we hate, and get my back on this, parents, what we hate more than anything else is when you guys, without kids, make comments on our parenting abilities. Don't we hate that, parents? I can't stand that. Oh, there's this lady at work. She likes to come over to my desk and she says, you know what, Lauren? If I had your 3 kids, I'd make sure they do their homework. I would make sure they would listen to me all the time. I would make sure they did this. I would make sure they did that. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. She's the expert. She's the expert because instead of a baby, what does she have? A dog. Dog, thank you. Do we know those people, dogs? Cute dog, do you have one? Here's the test. If your baby can lick its own balls, it's not a baby.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I will let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? So personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Midrashat Devorah, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midrashatdevorah.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midrashat Devorah, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom. DJ Venom. DJ Venom. DJing parties throughout Israel. Birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
All right, we're here on Louis Live, wrapping things up. That's the end of our show tonight. I want to thank our special guest, Mark Gordon, the co-host of Gold, the World Soccer Show, and, of course, Lori Brownstone, who regularly appears at Laughs Comedy Club in Tucson, Arizona, and the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. Also, want to thank the people who called and chatted into the show. Later on in the week, we will have Jazza Marcus and Jim Williams to discuss the World Series and much, much more. But that's it for tonight. God bless and good night.